The inventory feature in the ZYTO software allows you to create customized lists of products and services for scanning. This is an important feature in the ZYTO software that you'll want to make sure to set up correctly before running any scans. So, to start off, let's open the Libraries menu option, and at the bottom, we have the Library Manager tab. Now, with the balance, you only have access to the product company that you signed up with, but you still have the option to come in here to the Regions tab and adjust the region if your product company has different product regions available. If you're in the US, for example, you can come in here and set the product line to US products, and it will only scan the virtual items for the products that are available in the US. If you don't select a specific country, it will scan products from all countries. So that's an important thing to remember. And if you do update the region, you'll want to make sure to click Save Here to update that setting. While you only have access to the one product company with the balance, with the Select, Elite, or Evox, you have the option to add any product companies that are in our library as well. And you can see all the available product lines under the Product Companies tab. There are more than 300 product companies you can select here. So, say you work with 5 or 6 product companies. You can come in here and check all of those and then click Save. And it will load all those product virtual items so that they're available for scanning. Now, to clarify, since this may be the first time you've heard the term virtual item, all the biomarkers, products, and services in the ZYTO software are virtual items. So when we talk about a product, for example, we're referring to a unique digital representation of the actual product which has been encoded in the software. Now, products and services are a subset of virtual items that we refer to as balancers, while biomarkers are a subset of virtual items we refer to as stressors. And in a typical ZYTO scan, the stressors are scanned to determine which ones are out of range, and then we can scan to see which balancers are best for bringing those stressors back into range or back into energetic balance. Okay, now going back to the Library Manager, you can select as many product companies here as you want. However, the more you select, the longer it will take to load them into your software. And that not only goes for this initial upload, but when there are updates to the products, it has to upload all that info up again. So it can be helpful to get a good variety here of different types of products that you currently work with or want to start working with. But on the other hand, you don't want to select too many because it can start to bog down your software. All right, we also mentioned this is the software and account support video. But if you have the Select, Elite, or Evox software and you want a product line added that's not on this list, you can request that it be added. You can also request that its service be added that's not currently in the services library as well. And these requests are available for the Balance, Select, and Elite software. Again, you could submit a request by signing in to your online portal at ZYTO.com and selecting the Item Library tab. You can also fill that out, and there's no guarantee, but we'll do our best to contact that company to get their products added in. In addition to the Product Companies and Region tab, you can see here there are 3 other tabs as well. This Add-ons tab is if you've purchased any add-on biosurveys. This is where you'd upload those to your software. And you can learn more about our available add-on biosurveys at zyto.com/add-on-biosurveys. There's also the Library Preference tab, where you can choose the order you want the libraries you selected to appear in the software. And then we have the Override Preferences tab. Sometimes library authors create descriptions or dose parameters for virtual items that are different than the originals. So this is where you can set that preference of the preferred descriptions and dosage you want to see in the software. The next tab to cover here is the Services tab. These are available in the Balance, Select, and Elite. We have about 300 service virtual items that are preloaded into the software. These are things like chiropractic, acupuncture, infrared sauna, and so on. So, they're things that you would visit a practitioner for, or in some cases, they're things that the client can do on their own at home. There's a mixture of the two, but this tab allows you to select the specific services that you want to include in your scans so you can see the highest priority ones for each client. The great thing about services is that they help you get your clients into other services that either you offer or that you refer out to other practitioners. So it promotes your services and your wellness network, and ideally, you can connect with other providers that refer their clients back to services you specialize in as well. You can really start promoting different modalities that are preferable for the client in addition to the diet and nutritional supplement aspect of health. Okay, to add services to your inventory, you just come in here and select the ones you want to include on the right side of the screen. Then, when you have all the services you want to include selected, just click this vertical blue bar and it will move them over to the left side of the screen. This means that they're now in your services inventory. Now, whenever services are scanned, it will only scan those items. As a side note, some people assume that simply checking these will include them in their inventory, but you actually have to click that blue bar to move them over. Otherwise, they won't be scanned. Of course, you also have the option here to move a service out of your inventory. And to do that, you just select the box next to the service on this left tab, and then select Remove, and it will remove it from your list. But once you move services over to this tab, they're saved there. So when you come back into the software, you don't have to move them over again. Another thing to keep in mind with services is that you'll only want to include services here that you're familiar with or that you refer clients out to. You won't want to have a service show up on the report that you don't know about or that you don't really know anyone to refer them out to. Alrighty, moving on. The next tab here is Inventory. This works in a similar way as services. You can select any product you want to include and move it over using this blue bar. It's important to note here, though, that if you only move the whole category over, like all ABC products here, it will only scan that category as a whole and not the individual items within the category. So you would actually first need to click right on that category name to open it up, and then from there you can move over the items you want to include in your inventory. Now the concept of inventory is that you would want it to reflect the items you currently have in stock that you can send home with a client right after the scan. Along with your inventory, you'll still have the option to scan for your entire product line. But when you look at the report, you can easily see which ones are in your inventory and which ones aren't. So it will only scan each product once, but they will be identified as inventory if you added them to your inventory. The last thing to cover here for the Select and Elite software is the custom categories. Custom categories give you the ability to be more flexible in using the ZYTO software. So how they work is they're basically folders that you can add a custom list of items to and label. Then you can select any of them when you run a scan. So maybe you want to have the option to scan a list of products related to the liver. You can come in here and create a folder called liver, and then you can add in products for the liver from all your available product companies into that custom category. Custom categories work in a similar way as inventory. You just select New Category to set a new one up, name it, and then search for and move over items you want to add using the vertical blue bar. You can repeat this process for any type of custom category you want, like digestion or skin health, for example. And then, when you're running a scan, you'll have a chance to select from any of those custom categories. So maybe you have a client that you know is struggling with liver issues or digestion. You can then select that custom category and it will scan all those products you added. Also, I'll just briefly mention here that if you have the Elite, you also have the option to create your own library from the My Libraries tab, which is another way to customize the products that are included in a scan. And also, this is where you'd go if you wanted to create your own custom biosurvey in the Elite. It gives you access to everything in the ZYTO libraries, and you can organize those items how you want into a custom scan, as well as create custom reports. So, that's all for managing your inventory. In the next video, we'll cover how to manage your client list, which includes creating new clients and starting a scan.